People like you have no place here. This spread isn't meant for folks like you. That's the venomous rant a snot-nosed 16-year-old terror spat at me while yanking my shopping bags straight out of my hands at Fresh Mart. His mother, the ultimate HOA nightmare, a classic Karen, didn't skip a beat. She whipped out her phone and dialed up the chaos, screaming for backup like the apocalypse had arrived. Dispatch every squad car in the county. We've got a menace on the loose. She wailed on about how she owned the whole block. And I was already second-guessing my decision to shop in this so-called upscale spot. But oh, the delicious twist. She had zero clue about my identity. Those 24 cruisers she begged for? They all rolled under one command. And when the truth dawned on her, karma didn't just knock, it kicked the door down. Drop a comment below. Where were you tuned in from? Spill the tea. Picture this, a totally ordinary Thursday. Me strolling through Fresh Mart's aisles, my cart brimming with crisp organic greens, juicy cuts of grass-fed beef, and a rainbow of fresh produce that screamed healthy living. I'd only been calling Oakwood Estates home for a solid 2 weeks, but truth be told, I'd stepped into the role of police chief 6 months back. Smart move? I kept it on the down low, blending in like any other resident to really soak up the neighborhood vibes. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Faded jeans, a plain tee, nothing flashy. It was my undercover uniform for getting the real pulse of the place I swore to protect. The cashier was methodically beeping through my hall when I caught the thud of heavy sneakers stomping up behind me, capped off by that cocky throat clear from a teen testing his limits. No time to pivot. A ghostly white fist shot over my shoulder, snatching my heirloom tomato bag right off the belt like it was free game. Yo, back off that bougie crap. You don't belong munching on this. The voice? Pure spoiled entitlement. Attached to a lanky kid no older than 16. Rocking that signature sneer, born from a lifetime of unchecked yes-men. Tyler Hargrove, that's what I'd learn his name was later, loomed there, clutching my veggies like he'd just claimed a trophy in some twisted suburban conquest. This grub, it's not for your type. Stick to the discount bins where you belong. His tone cracked mid-sentence, a dead giveaway of his baby-faced bravado clashing with the tough guy act. Me? Cool as ice, decades on the force had drilled de-escalation into my bones. I stretched out my palm, voice even and fatherly. Kid, that's my dinner. Hand it over, no fuss. Straightforward, no drama, zero fuel for the fire. But Tyler? He flipped the script like a bad actor in a B-movie, staggering back with Oscar, worthy flair, hugging the bag to his chest as if I'd swung a haymaker. Mom, over here! Now! His holler ricocheted off the shelves, yanking every shopper's gaze from canned soups to the unfolding circus. This guy's coming at me! Somebody, anybody, help! The theatrics were so cartoonish that a chunk of the crowd just rolled their eyes and dove back into their carts, muttering about kids these days. But one spectator? She dove in headfirst, hook, line, and sinker. The sharp staccato of luxury stilettos pounding the linoleum tiled her grand entrance before she even rounded the corner. Enter Patricia Hargrove, barreling in like a platinum blonde stormfront, her Louis Vuitton tote flailing like a battle flag as she swooped to her prince's defense. Hands off my boy, you monster, she screeched, one French-tipped claw speed dialing 911, while the other shoved Tyler into her shadow. Her shriek hit dog whistle frequencies, making the overhead lights buzz like they were in on the frenzy. I stood there, a cocktail of awe and bone-deep weariness bubbling up, as she punched the call button with trembling fury. 911? Emergency? Code red. Some thugs assaulting us at Fresh Mart on Elm Avenue. Crocodile tears materialized on cue, her voice fracturing into sobs. He's towering, like 6 feet 2 inches, terrorizing my poor teen. Flood the place? 10 units? Nah, make it 25. SWAT too. Choppers if you can. Move it. By now, half the store had their phones out, but not for SOS. They were live streaming the meltdown, turning her victim act into primetime fodder. The irony? In her bid to frame me as the villain, she was scripting her own blooper reel. I fished out my cell, thumbed record, and locked in the audio. Crystal clear insurance. "Ma'am," I interjected, tone steady as a gavel. "Your boy's the one who swiped my stuff and slung slurs. All I did was ask nicely for it back." She wheeled on me like a viper, cheeks blazing crimson. "Zip it. You lot always twist it to play the poor me card, stirring up trouble in our pristine hood." She stabbed the air with an acrylic nail, decibels climbing. "I call the shots here. Ho prez. Board boss, you'll rue the day you darkened this store's door." The store's security dude, a wide-eyed newbie who looked one awkward shift away from quitting, hovered by the doors, paralyzed like a deer in her headlights. I shot him a subtle nod. "All good, man. Stand easy." Then, pivoting to her with honest intrigue, "And which hood might that be exactly?" She puffed up like a peacock, triumphant, Oakwood Estates darling. "The elite enclave, gated glory. Not some dive for, well, outsiders like you. Can't even dream of scraping by there." A grin tugged at my lips. Subtle, but enough to make her falter, yanking Tyler closer like a shield. "Funny you mention that," I replied. "All sunshine and zero sarcasm. I just unpacked in Oakwood 2 weeks back." Small world, huh? Her complexion? Drained faster than a popped balloon, leaving her ghostly in the veggie glow. "And no, that's a lie. I'd know. I vet every soul." She sputtered, clutching Tyler, who was eyeing the standoff like his script had glitched. The kid's swagger was fracturing, doubt creeping in like morning fog. I let the quiet linger, then nodded at my cart, still idling on the belt. "Mind if I wrap this up? Wouldn't want the gelato turning to soup?" Patricia's trap shut and flapped like a landed trout, 0 words, just stunned blinks. At last, she snagged Tyler's wrist and reverse marched, eyes drilling into mine. "This ain't done, freak, you'll pay." As they bolted, Tyler yeeted the tomatoes back with a spiteful thud. One burst on impact, painting the floor in crimson regret. I scooped it up, settled my tab, and sauntered out, gut screaming this was round 1 of a grudge match. Patricia Hargrove had picked a fight with the absolute wrong ally, and she was clueless. Hold up, if he's crashing in my turf, how'd he slip the radar? And that smirk, like he held all the cards? Drop your hood name in the comments if you've tangled with a Karen Supreme. Fast forward to Patricia screeching into her driveway, only to freeze as I emerged from the MSC mansion dead across the cul-de-sac. Her tote plummeted, spilling artisanal cheeses and heirloom jars across her flawless turf like confetti from hell. Jaw unhinged, she gawked like I'd risen from the grave. "Impossible. No, this nightmare can't be real." Her wail sliced the serene sunset suburbia. I ambled to my box, all neighborly charm, gorgeous dusk, right, neighbor? I tossed over my shoulder, her shade veering violent violet as she clawed at her spill, venom lancing from every glare. That eve, the siege ignited full throttle. Dead on 2 a.m., bass-thumped anthems erupted from their empty mansion, decibels shattering noise bylaws like glass. Peering through drapes, I clocked Patricia center stage in her den, smartphone aloft, broadcasting to her echo chamber chat. "Lesson time for the invader. This is our turf. Trespassers get tuned up." Her bellow cut through the throb. Unfazed, I snapped pics, firing off to my second-in-command, bait swallowed, phase 1 locked. By 3, the racket quit, swapped for slimy thwacks on my stoop. Dozen eggs, courtesy of Tyler's piss-poor pitching. Yolks drizzled the bricks. A sticky forecast for dawn scrubbing. 4 a.m.? Their yappy terrier trio escaped, storming my yard to shred my fledgling azaleas and drop landmines on the welcome mat. Patricia lounged on her veranda in satin negligee, half-heartedly cooing, "Oh dear, naughty pups. Heel!" All theater, her phone was the real star, staging her innocent alibi. From my vigil perch, cams rolled 4K glory on the farce. Next dawn, I hosed my hardy survivors, facade of zen intact, eggs erased, turds bagged, blooms patched provisional. Patricia stormed the divide like a one-woman crusade, bravado dipping at my unflappable vibe. "You're an interloper. Scram. This is family haven, elite standards." I kept misting, gaze fixed green, gorgeous spot, yeah? No wonder you'd guard it from egg bandits and pooch vandals. Flush rising, she doubled down. "Don't you dare insinuate. I'll turn your stay into purgatory till you bail." "Ma'am." I pivoted at last. Beam broad and baffling. You kicked off the party. By all means, keep the hits coming. I'm archiving it all for the scrapbook. The jab landed soft but sharp, her peepers snagged on my porch sentry, beaming bold. Pfft, that toy? Thinks it'll shield you? She scoffed, wheeling away, digits flying texts. Dusk fell, and from my den, I tracked Tyler slinking over, Louisville Slugger in tow. 3 cracks felled the dummy cam, cheap prop from eBay. Then, aerosol assault. He tagged my garage in bile black bigotry, slurs so septic they scorched the soul to recount. Cherry on top? He vlogged the victory lap on his secret Insta, cam toast. Loser blind now. Mom's hyped. Blind? Hardly. The showpiece was bait, my arsenal. Quad stealth units, eaves and lanterns, postbox phantom, chime spy, garden pebble perch. Omnidirectional takedown, crimes in HD eternity. Office bound, footage fresh, my line trilled. Next are Linda, breathy. Marcus, hate to snoop. But does Patricia clock your gig? Soft laugh. Nah, and let's ride that wave a tad longer. Cy echoed. She's ousted 3 crews last couple years. Vicious vixen. Watch your 6. Click. I tabbed precinct logs. 3 exits, all POC, all fleeing hostile vibes profilings. Patricia's reign of suburban terror. Board badge her scepter. Invincible illusion. Time to shatter it. Deputy pinged, intervene, chief. Swift, hold. Let her burrow deeper. The pit's shallow yet. Archiving clips to cloud fortresses, I smirked. She fancied mind games, grandmaster at 20-year gridlock. But how far would she tunnel? What trigger waited? Comment karma alert if Patricia's doom feels imminent. Oakwood's rec hall brimmed for Patricia's crisis summit on sector safeguards. Her spam blasts, poster blitz, and robocalls had spooked the masses into submission. I slipped in quarter hour ahead, claiming rear pew for panorama view. She'd whipped up a slide deck, the intruder issue, starring pixelated peeps of me tending turf. Crowd skew? Pale, prime age, polite unease pinning them in place. Patricia fronted in power pinstripes, rustling notes, hissing to slouch smug Tyler ringside. Board backups bookended her. Alway Helm Richard, Silver Fox seeming soul-crushed. Prompt 7 p.m., laser zap slide 1. Gratitude for this dire huddle, she quavered, faux fragile. Threat to our haven's heart looms large. Zap, me mid-mist, zoomed accusatory. This shadow slunk in a fortnight past. Dodgy dealings. Morrison pad? Verified? Vetted? Backstory. Queries crescendo to crescendo. Assaulted my innocent air at Fresh Mart. Tyler browsed blissfully. Then aggression erupted. Tyler bobbed fervent, stared daggers. Felt the fist incoming. Shifts in seats, but nods from the faithful. Mid-row mumble, equity erosion, face filed for follow-up. Sap 2, her cam clip, Tyler's theft trim tidy. Proof of prowling, she crowed. Conspiratorial hush, lurks eternal, eyes everywhere. Motion. Evict the enigma, allies? Dozen paws punched air, rest. Wary waves. Richard rasped. Pat! Eviction sans cause. Bylaws bite back. Statutes sting. Her flush flared. Statutes. What of safeguarding spawn? Stakes. Sanctity. The subtext siren wailed overt. Pre-rebuttal, I rose rearward. Spotlight swiveled. Patricia paling through prisms. Cheers for the nod, Pat. I strolled stageward, serene. Didn't summon you. She bayed, pointer poised like pike. Ho charter open forms for all dwellers. I parried apaglow with bylaws. Dug the full tome. Riveting read. Richard exhaled relief. Spot on, sir, Washington. Marcus Washington. Beam got clips to counter if cool? Pat protested. Richard ruled. Equity. Her evidence yours too, newbie. HDMI handshake seamless. Her mitts quivered. Freshmart full cut first. Play pressed. Silence swallowed as Tyler snatch, slurs, sham assault unspooled, Pat's 25 cruisers, plea pristine, fabrication, deepfake devilry. She faltered amid inhales. Swap, home watch last eve. Tyler's tag team terror, Pat porch puppeteering. Slur splash. Shock exodus. One suit bolted, diversity clause. Out! Ex-Notter wheeled on her. You sold danger, not this depravity. Richard snatched Mike. Brow Niagara. Pat. Felonies flare. OA heat for hate crimes? Premiums plummet. Council corner scribbled. Aghast. Tyler turtle-shelled. Crimson as peers snickered. Oakwood's rejectee. Keisha's co. World star whoop. Youth yelled. Feeds firing. Bedlam brewed. Fury faithlessness self-loathing Pat's posse. Phantom fade to flanks. Trap. Setup. Slumlord. Doped on. Probe him. She ululated. Gavel Gale eviction ballot Washington. 18-10 my way. Abstains aplenty. Pat's mug mangled maniacal betrayers. I shielded this sanctum. Repayment this. Jabbed me. Clever Claude. Her you, really? Pause pregnant. All arched anticipatory. Prime query, Pat. Murmur amplified. But not tonight's reveal. Pocketed phone. Door-bound halt. Oh, Pat. Piku pens those cruiser checks you craved. Exit echo. Tomb thick. Paychecks puzzle. Cop ties or con. Type unmask him if curiosity's killing you. Dawn 2. Pat's cybercyclone crashed. 6 a.m. scroll showed her blitzing a dozen forms. Frenzy fractal. Oakwood peril. Menace mists. Blurry bloom spray me. Garage grow up. Burglar blueprint. Absurdities amusing if not arson adjacent. Linda lit up her posts. Lunacy. Screenshots stacked in my dossier delta. Fatal flaw. Tyler's teen log. Anon antics geo-leaking their lair. Vid 1. Pat backdrop bossing. Amp the threat. Sell the scare. Vid 2. Her hotline hiss $2,500 spot. Smear him shady. Doom dial. Dusk. Burner buzz to blog bud from her stoop. My mic mesh nabbed at net. Janet pen poison on my foe. The shade you savvy. Hesitation hummed. Evidence? Bah. Gaze at him. Gullible gawkers gobble it for his sort. Beat. $2,500 firm. Felon flare. Menace mode. Janet iced. Legit lane. Pat. Libel lands me lost. Pat purred poison. Truth's in the trope. They crave the creed. Plus, custody coup. My oath on your mom cred. Pity if pixel shift. Blackmail. BFF boost. Bail or backstory bends. Hang up heat. Spied Linda's last frolicking with my labradoodle fence flirt. Giggles galore as pup pampered palms. Pat pulverized porch Madison. Abort. Beast beware. Tot bolted bawling. Pat bade my brink. Quarantine that quadruped. Rabies raid incoming. Den dashboard devoured it all. Audio acuity archiving her arsenal. Toll touched twilight. Windshield whacked return whence. Rat rotting rug with next. Scrawl. Weariness waved. Not fear, fatigue from 25's bigotry buffet. Dusk deep. Sarah's snapshot surfaced. Our Maui mirth. High path, love. But ledges lurk. Halter hurling the helpless. Urgent uplink. Deputy. Council clamor. Suspension shadow. Jaw jam. Her web wove wider. Puppet pulls unseen. Response? Ponder punch. Briefing blitz. Tomorrow 3 hall. Heads mandatory. Irreversible? Grimgrin. Locked. Hourglass up. Eve etched evidence empire. Clips. Calls caps. Pat preened on win. Hall rally tomorrow. Chief caves to cries. Unmask the crook. Pals plotted placards. Media muster. 0 zip for zonkers. Tyler taped her mirror monologue. Chief, scourge on kin. Safety siege. Blind to badge, bulletin blur. Sleepless sift. Pat's purge prayed. 3 flocks fled, flocks harassed for fit fail. Morrow, badge-bearing boomerang. Mayor missive Marcus, mastery. Dark chuckle crystal. She'd summoned squad's chief, equity. Delivery diverged delightfully. What Pat missed, podium pivot impending. But who claimed the mic? Comment clocks ticking if truth's thunder tempts. Hall hum 245. Feeds framed, mics primed. Safety spikes and snafus, broad bait. Pat's personal prod. She staked front with 12 acolytes. Dossier clutched like crown jewels, suit supreme. Podium plaque, Chief Marcus Washington keynote. Her? Hyper her triumph, gloss the gist. Chief whereabouts? Pre-game pitch on the perp. 3 sharp, side stride in full regalia. Ribbons rankling 20-year valor. Press perked. Portent. Palpable. Pat popped, pointer porn, copper. That's the culprit. Cuff him pronto. Lenses lurched, baffled. Sentries surged, palm up, pause. Bypassed her blaze to birth, boots booming marble. Her haze, priceless pandemonium. What wizardry, she wailed, Mike Mangle. Imposter. Halt, chief summon, calm gaze, crowd command, afternoon all. Thanks for turnout. Oakwood optics today, rage rattled, lies. Livery lift, lock up now, unheeded. Evidence ensemble incoming, upsetting urgent bias we banish. Dusk drop, deck dawned. Vid inaugural, Tyler's tag team, Pat puppeteering peril posts, keys clacked cacophony, audio assault, gawk, gullible's gulp his hue, breath spaded, vandal vid, Tyler's toxic tag, face framed foul, 911 finale, 25 cruisers, stat, lights lift, lethal lull. Cams craned Pat Ward, pallor puce, hoax horde, setup scam, feeble, pocket plum, badge bloom, podium pound, thud thundered. MS Hargrove, boom benevolent, fortnight fled, you quizzed, who? 911 frenzy, fleet fetch, chief chat. Build breath. I'm helm of the herd. All 25 you hungered. Police Chief Marcus Washington. Thunderclap truth. City Sentinel 6 moons. Oakwood embed fortnight. To eye ethos unseen, patrol plainclothes. Uproar unleashed. Journo jolt. Flashes frenzy. Pat's pack peeled, plague pocked. Rear roar, cops on chief? Chant cascade. Pat plummeted, poise pulverized, puddle of pearls and pipe dreams. Tyler? Teen terrorbolt. Botch tumble into tiered seats. Viral volleys too. Medics mobbed, I mirrored, MS Hargrove, hail, held for hoax hotlines, hate harass, threat tango, smear syndicate. Miranda, mum's the word, wise once. Semi-sent be but badge. Lean low, ma'am, I orchestrate the octet, oath-bound, wheeled with wrist-wrapped air, riot reignited. Cub to vet, Watergate who? Badge drop, bliss. Pat's pilgrims, pests scatter. Sign slayer stashed Pat's posse posterior as pivots pursued. Mayor mopped, sever statement, solo stain, values veto. Tyler, trust tearful. Mommy? Nobody you named, our empire badges bend. Escort Tiesk lad, lunacy on leader. None nets chief. Hashtag Karen chief clash crested pre-close. But encore etched. Arrest? Appetizer. Pat's plight? Peak punishment. Type karma cops of comeuppance crowns? 24 ticks post-podium, Pat's palace? Powder keg pop. Public pillory peak. Faint clip? 150 mil mocks in 48. Mashups from Mozart to metal maelstroms. Firm facade? Bias? Banned. Pat pink-slipped prompt. Queen to Quisling? Quicksilver quake. Ex-allies? Always off. Knew it. Law lash, quad counts. Lockup dodged, but lash lingered. Duo year docket. 60K gouge. 600 sensitivity stints. Bench boss? No baloney. Cops crave. Captive crowd. 2 turns tether. Tyler's teen tribunal. 120-day dorm. 600 gigs. Oakwood oust. Ivy illusions. Ink indelible. Blame buck. Mom muscled. Car confiscate sand squad. Home guard, she swore. Juris jaded 16. Slur smart sting solo. Choices chain. Court curb life liquidated, league lockout, council croak, bruised boy, burden bears. Pat's plea. Pale privilege picked. Targeted triumph. Da Dynamo dissected 62 docs you? Hunt hounded. Your vid's verdict your vice. HOA haste. Pat persona non grata. Ban ballot blanket. Bigot badge bust values. Value vapor via her. Irony icing. Pad Pond post foreclose, Doc Duo, Dr. Jamal and fam, quartet kids, quad bliss. Linda looped her glare on P.O. Paspy, lemon lace lemon face, web whirlwind, worst whip, Karen chief clash app, dodge dial-a-cop dilemmas, faint fanfare, 60 Sonata spins fave, 25 cars techno terror. Tyler's trip, TikTok tango, tumble triumph, networks nabbed, cable to crown, chief call-out queen. Ellen echoed, Noah nuked, doc drop on streamer. Pat's penultimate ploy, entrapment victim. Vindicate, ramble racist, $4 from fam, axe terms of service swan song. Solo stream, stack somber, scheme supreme, diverse doc. Diverse deli, feeds flayed, cope, Karen, cry cascade. This you with slur screenshots. Me, muted magnate, no crow public but faint replay, guilty pleasure, suit spoils, youth unity uplift, patrol palaver, pop-up powwows, plainclothes packs, bias blindside, Badge Burdens Boot Camp. Query Quip, Rue Regrets. Deadpan, 20 Car Wish. 2 Transport, Fiscal Fiasco. Year Yank Replay Rumble, ready? Comment if Pat's Puddle pleases. Year Yonder, Routine Ramble Hood Heart. Weekly Weave to Weld with Wards. Spring Splendor, Park Polish Posse when orange overalled outline emerged. Litter Lasso Low. Lad Lifted, Lurched. Tyler, Transfigured, Gaunt, Grin Ghosted, Gaze Grave with Growth Grind. Sight Snag, Stasis, Sack Squeeze Spectral, Chief, Murmur Mousy. 30 Ticks Tally, then Torrent, Regret, Racist Rot, Realm Ruin. Mom Molded Malice, I Picked Poison, Plight Pure. Sobs Surged, Sleeve SOP. Foreman Flagged, Flag Off. Mom Molded, yep, but pick was yours. Paint, Posts, Prejudice. Nod Neater, Self-Scorn Supreme, Shattered All. Firm Shattered, Scarred. Scar Scream Sweat, Salvage Sweat. Card Conjure, Second Shot Squad. Record Rehab, Reschool Routes. Tremble Take, Why? Wickedness Wave, Way Hate Harvest. Her Harvest. Kindness, Countercrop. Undo, Undo defines grace. Graft Guts, Query Quake, Quest Quit. Noggin Near Snap Affirm. Food Fort Now, Fix Frenzy. Probe, Prompt, Punch That. Grind Genuine. Tyler, Trifle Not, No Encore. Retreat Rumble, Gratitude, No Nod. Narrative Not Mine. Chance, Chucked. Unity Feast Flicker, Linda Ladled. Tyler's Tray Duty, Turnaround. Flip, Word, Pat, Pariah Posts, Pale Purge Plot. Chuckle, Stubborn Seeds, Scorn Over Sorry. Point Park, Seed Sprout. Scan, Tyler Tray Tender to Tapestry Tribe. Beam to Bashful Brown Babes Bless You. Nod Nexus, Resume Roast. Tautug, Chief Champ. Mom, Mean Man Mauled. Neil, Hero, Hype, Heroes. Heartshift, Braver Than Badges. Solemn Soak, Scamper. Scope, Spectrum Sprawl. Savor, Squeal Sans Shade. Pat's Phobia, Fusion Flourish, Fading Fable. Nocturne Nook, Sarah Summon, Highway Honed, Heart, Hitchhikers. Some Hitch Hope, Harvest Humbles. Thus, HOA Hellion Hounded Helm. 25 Begged. 2 Bestowed Twisted. Privilege Perch, Plunge Precipice. Terror Tactic, Total Takedown. Morals Minted Shade. Shadow Self, Stranger Supreme, Feeds. Felony Flare. Karma, Comic King Core, Change, Chosen Chore. Tyler Testament Toxin Taught. Tonic 2, Tough Toil Triumphs. Hits Home, Hammer Subscribe. OA HitBack Hype. Share the Smackdown, tag Torment Targets. Comment Karma Cops if Pat's Payback Pops. Kindred Key, Courtesy Core. Hood Helm, Hierarchy Haze. Till Twist 2, Chief Marcus, Knows Your Niche, Nurture Next Door, Nix Hasty 911. Peace. If Yarn Yields Yay, Duty Dispatched. Thumbs Thrown. Next HOA Hitback Hook awaits.